I think you've already identified the biggest challenge is that delay. And the delay is critical if you're trying to implement disease control. The sooner you can detect the disease, identify the disease and respond to the disease, you're ahead of the problem. If you delay it, the problem, it's infectious disease, so it spreads. So that is your critical problem. So then you have to address that. How do you address that? So you address that primarily by awareness. The farmer, but not just the farmer, the whole community, traders, other service providers need to be aware of the disease, and that requires a level of understanding of the disease, but also its symptoms, its clinical signs, the eyes, the nose with PPR issues, the pneumonia, the diarrhea type issues. So you have to understand the manifestations of the disease, which are not typical of other diseases, and then you should have the confidence to raise the flag saying we have a problem here. But there's a problem because we don't have good compensation in Indonesia. So a farmer reports and there's a risk that his animals are going to die, or possibly the government will come along and stop his business. And that is a disincentive to report. So we have to think through that problem as well as how you encourage farmers to report to benefit the whole community rather than perhaps just looking after their own resources. It's back to basic awareness and understanding the disease, the epidemiology of the disease, the clinical signs of the disease, how dangerous the disease is in terms of spread, and that's at the farmer level. But if you like, that's at the country level as well, because Indonesia is free of PPR. Let's keep it free of PPR. If it comes in, then you need to deal with it at the local level. If it comes in at the local level, you need to deal with it at the farm level. So it depends where the disease is situated. But primarily, you'd have to target animal owners, so the farmers, and that's awareness and familiarity, but you have to sell the broad benefit, so it's not really useful just to target a single disease. You want to target the whole benefit of other diseases, management of parasites, so you benefit their whole sort of production economy system. But then, so that's at the farmer level, but then I think you can also broaden this out. Children, schools are a fantastic resource in terms of communication of any disease. You know, rabies, PPR, foot and mouth disease, PPR. So there are different ways of doing it, but you have to raise awareness and understanding how to manage that risk. Well, the first thing is prevention, and prevention is primarily preventing transmission, which is live animal is the highest risk, so live animal trade. Second risk is trade in animal products, so meat and things like that. So try and create barriers to product coming into Indonesia, or if the disease is in Indonesia, between one province, one island and another. So that's your first base, is prevention. If you've gone past prevention and you've started to get disease outbreaks, then you have to manage those. You want to try and isolate them to stop them spreading, so you stop animals moving in and out. And that's traders and engagement of farmers and fences and general biosecurity and good husbandry, so you have to look at that. And then the critical thing with PPR is vaccination. So you then vaccinate your young stock, your naive stock, your unexposed stock. And the vaccine not available yet in Indonesia because it's not a disease in Indonesia. The vaccine is very good, it's relatively cheap, it's a single dose for lifetime benefit. So if we get the disease here, we really have to have the opportunity to vaccinate as well.